Toil and Meaning. My classroom is odd sometimes. Maybe not really odd, but it is just a different world completely from the world I lived in when I was a student. Middle school is always hard, and I guess reading in middle school can be especially hard, but it is interesting that students now seem to care for nothing. They seem to have all the books, and all the games, and all the equipment, and all the technology, and all the privilege that anyone could ever ask for in a school. There are low stakes, and there are low consequences, but yet they don't seem to grow. It makes one think about the change in our society. One of the books we read recently in my class was Fahrenheit 451. It is a classic science fiction dystopian novel, and it is filled with wonderful poetic language, and it is a commentary on the world and how it is changing. And I see this change all around me. The media, and I don't mean the news, but the stories and the articles seem to get simpler. The books for children seem to get simpler, and the standards are lowered. There is no accountability anymore, and we are starting to see it. Feelings of unhappiness are the enemy, and everything must be done to make sure no one is unhappy. This is one of the end goals for censorship in the book. And while this doesn't seem to be the goal for censorship in the United States, the goal is still the same. The goal is for everyone to be happy. And so, anything that makes one unhappy needs to be removed. The end result is that meaning is completely removed from the world. People kill themselves and they overdose, and they kill each other, and it doesn't mean anything because meaning has been removed from the world. It loses the essence that there is such a thing as toil and work and sadness, and it is not always a bad thing. Like the old hymn, when toil and trouble meeting, there is something there in that toil. It is only through toil that we finally experience true rest. It is only through struggle that we actually get to experience true success. Because rest without toil is not really rest, and success without struggle is not really sweet. These things become empty. They are the participation trophies. They are the moved ahead in class. They are the empty gestures and the empty compliments. Even worse is that we no longer have a means or a language for a dignified existence without these things, without success. There has to be a fault, as if living in poverty was not the normal state of affairs for the human race for all existence, and it should not be something to be ashamed of if you can carry yourself with quiet, dignified meaning. It has to be something that is ashamed of. There has to be a fault. There has to be some sort of jealousy or resentment in it. It has to be some sort of failure. It can't just be something you live. There should be meaning in how you react to failure. You will fail, and without the dignity and the meaning, you only have failure. Or rather, you have the failure, but nothing else. It seems we've lost this ability to have meaning. We've changed everything. We've changed the rules. We've changed everything about how we live our life. And we've tried to strip everything out that makes people uncomfortable. And just by stripping everything out, maybe we've stripped out the meaning. Because without something underneath us, without there's something underneath the toil, without there's something to be striving for, there is no meaning. That's why we need Christ.